Hello everyone, let's create age morphing in Photoshop. So let us start. We have the picture of Junior NTR. He is famous South Indian actor. He's around 40 years old. Let's make him look like 70 or 80 years old. So we will be doing age morphing on this actor. We will first take a duplicate of this image and we will work on the duplicate so that in the end we can compare the final result with the original image. Right. Let's hide the original image. Now let's select the subject. So here we have the option select subject and we will just apply mask to it and we will just confirm the mask. We will simply right click on the mask thumbnail and select apply layer mask. That's it. So now what we'll be doing first is we will make him look bald, because as people grow older they lose hair and they won't have too much hair. So we will make him look bald. So that is our first task. So I have downloaded certain images of old people and also bald men. So here is the pic of a bald man. Right. So we will first select his hair or the head portion with little hair. You don't have to select the eyebrows, just we need the forehead part. Right. So something like this, and we can just give a small amount of feather and we will simply drag this selection and keep it over here. And first thing what we'll be doing is we will also remove the existing hair over the subject. So we will select a lasso tool and we will just remove the hair portion. So we just have to select carefully here. Sometimes we might lose hold on the selection. So we have selected this much portion and we can just give a small amount of feather. Just 1 pixel feather is enough and we will delete the part. And now we'll just activate the bald head layer and we will try to adjust the head over the head of this subject. Here we have to spend some time here, so we have to adjust it properly. The scalp, and we can use the warp option here to properly adjust the the head. Right. So once we are done with this, we will now apply mask to this bald head and we will remove certain portions from this bald head. So we will use a brush tool, a soft rounded brush. So we will keep black in the foreground and we will increase the flow amount here. So here we need to be careful, we need to properly adjust near the hairs. Right. So once we have adjusted properly, then we can just fine tune every portion here. So we can see there is a sharp edge over here. We can just erase that sharp edge here. We can just blend it properly. Right. So the first part is completed. Now what we'll be doing is we will get the image of let's say this white hair. So here this person has white hair, so we will put a white hair. So we will use the pen tool here. So we'll just select the hair portion. And we will now convert the path to selection, and we will give just a small amount of feather. So we will now adjust this hair over the subject. So we will just use the warp tool here. So now we will just apply mask to it. We will apply hide all mask to this hair. So just we need to hold Alt in PC or Option in Mac, and then click on this mask icon at the bottom of the layers panel, and we will use the brush tool, and we will just paint over these hairs. That's it, because we want a white hair here. That's it. So we have to carefully paint white over these hairs. So here we have to just ensure that the edges are not too sharp. We can slightly reduce the flow amount here and paint. Right. So here we have just painted hair. Make sure that edges of the hair are not sharp. Right. So once the hair is painted, now we will take a merged copy of the existing layers. So we will simply use the shortcut Ctrl Alt Shift E in PC or Command Option Shift E in Mac. Right. Then we will now get a beard. We will also apply a beard over his face. So here is the picture of a person with a beard. Let's select only his beard portion. So we will use the lasso tool. So we can just start selecting from here. We can just remove unwanted areas if we don't want some portions of the skin. Right. And we can also subtract this mouth portion. So something like this. We can just carefully just select whatever areas we want. Right. So once we have selected this much portion, now we will just give a small amount of feather to this selection, and now let's drag this and just keep it over here. We'll now try to adjust it properly. So we'll just right click and select warp, and we will just try to adjust the beard over the subject. Something like this. We can just reduce the opacity and check where exactly our beard is appearing. So we can just be patient here. Right. So once we have adjusted, now the next thing we'll be doing is we will now just apply hide all mask to this beard layer, and we will select a soft rounded brush, and we will slightly increase the flow. The flow has to be around let's say 70%. Right. And we will keep white as the foreground color, so that the white will reveal the beard image. So we will now carefully paint the white beard over the subject. We need to be careful here. Right. So now we are able to paint white beard, and here there is some amount of darkness. So we can just do one thing. We can just copy some parts here. Just we can just copy, just select with the lasso tool, and here we have the option feather. We'll give a small amount of feather, and we will just right click and select layer wire copy, and then we will just try to move that portion and slightly adjust it so that it will cover the dark portion over there. Right, now this looks better. We can slightly reduce the opacity of the beard if we think the beard is too thick. So you can keep a light beard. Right, this looks better. The next thing we will be doing is we will now make the eyebrows also white. So we'll just take a new layer. We will just zoom into the image, and here we will just use the lasso tool. We can just select the eyebrow portion, and we will hold shift and select the left eyebrow also. So we can just give some feather to it. So we will just give 6 pixels as feather, or 6 is too much. We will just give it 3 pixels. Okay, this much is okay. And we will fill this selection with pure white color. And we will also reduce the opacity. So it should be just around let's say 28%. That's it. Right, now we will take one more merged copy. We'll simply use Ctrl Alt Shift E in PC, or Command Option Shift E in Mac. Right, now we will try to make him more old by placing some wrinkles or folds on his face. So for that we will get this particular image. Here we can see this old man has a lot of wrinkles or folds on his face. So we will try to select this particular old man. We can just select his face portion. We don't need ears, just this much portion. Right, and we can give some feather to it. Just a 3 pixel feather is enough. We will drag this image and place it on NTR's face. So the thing we are supposed to do is we will first match the face of this old man, and then the next important thing we'll be doing is we will also match the color. So we can see where the old man's eyes are. So the old man's eyes are over here. We will just adjust the old man's eyes, nose and mouth with NTR's face. You don't have to be 100% accurate. We want to just find those folds, those wrinkles. The wrinkles should be placed in the exact position. So that is what we want. Right, and we can also just activate the warp again. We will just move this portion, the right side portion, a little bit inside the face. Right, now the thing we'll be doing is we have to match the skin color. This old man looks a little bit dark compared to NTR. So what we'll be doing is we'll first pick the skin color of NTR. So let's select a medium shade here. So we can select this particular shade. I think we can select a lighter one. Okay, this looks better. And once we have selected that particular shade, now what we'll be doing is we will create a selection around this old man's face. We'll simply hold Control in PC or Command in Mac and click on the old man's layer thumbnail. So we got a selection now. Now we will take a new layer and we will fill this selection with this particular color, this skin color that we have just now picked. Right. And we will find a blending mode that will match with the skin portion of NTR. So we can just select here, multiply dark, and we have many blending modes. Okay, we will select soft light. Soft light blending mode looks like a perfect match, right? And once we have selected the soft light blending mode, we will now merge these two layers, the skin color that we have picked and also the old man's face. We will merge them. Right, now we will apply hide all mask to this old man's image. Right, now we will just carefully paint the wrinkles. Here we need to have some imagination, so we can just keep the flow value to 80%. And see, we will start with the folds or wrinkles on his cheeks. So we will just paint like this. And here we will just keep black in the foreground and we will erase some unwanted coloring, so it should look natural. Right, and we will also paint around his eyes. We'll keep white in the foreground. We need to have some imagination here. And we will also paint on his forehead. Something like this, but we will just remove some unwanted coloring. So we will just keep black here, and we can just remove some of the unwanted colors. Right. So once we have this, we can slightly reduce the opacity of these folds. So we don't want them to be too dark. So slight opacity. And we can also put eye bags. So we will get one more image. So here there is an image of another old man. This old man has eye bags, so we will roughly select the face of this old man. So from this old man's pic, we only need eye bags, so we can just slightly give some feather to it. And just like before, we will also adjust this old man's pic and match it properly with NTR's image. So we will just reduce the opacity, and we can see where the old man's eyes are. We will use the warp tool. Here we will try to just place the warp tool. Just use the warp tool and place the image. We only need eye bags from this image, right? Just the eye bags should be exactly below the eyes, right? So now we will increase the opacity, and we will do the same thing, the color match. So we'll simply hold Control and click on this old man's layer thumbnail. We'll take a new layer and we'll fill the selection with the same skin color that we have picked a little before, and we will just select the same soft light blending mode here, and we will merge these two layers, and we will apply hide all mask to it. And now we will just select a brush tool, and we'll just paint these eye bags. We'll keep white in the foreground. So we can see here. And we will erase some unwanted portions with black. So we have to just spend some time here. Right. So now we will slightly reduce the opacity. We don't want the eye bags to be too dark. Okay, something like this. Right. So we are slowly making him look very old, right? So now the next thing we will be doing is we will also put some wrinkles on his neck. So we will get another image now. So here we have another image of an old man. From this old man's picture, we will just select the wrinkles on his neck. So something like this. We'll give some feather to it. So we will now just simply drag and just place this part on his neck, and we will use the warp tool to adjust it properly. And you can just rotate it. And we will just apply mask to it. We will just use a brush tool, soft rounded brush, and we will just try to erase some portions. We'll make it blend properly with the skin. And we will slightly reduce the opacity here. That's it. Right. So then the thing we can do is we can also make these folds a little bit dark. So what we can do is we can just check some of the layers here. So we can just take a duplicate of this layer, the layer that has the folds on the cheek and on the forehead, so that it looks more dark, so we can see here, but we want the darkness to be a little bit less, so we can just reduce the opacity for the duplicate, right? And also we will take a new layer, a duplicate for the neck wrinkles. So we can see here they are also a little bit dark, and we can slightly reduce the opacity, right? So here we need to have imagination, a proper imagination, right? So we have made him look old now, right? So we will take a merged copy here. So we can just use Ctrl Alt Shift E, right? And what we can do is we can just hide the layers below here, and we can just improve this image a little bit. We will just use a clone stamp here. We can just extend the hair here a little bit near the ears. That's it, right? So we can take a duplicate, and we can try to give it a little bit contrast here, so something like a soft light, so we can see, and we can slightly reduce the opacity, right? Now we can just merge these two layers, and now we will see the comparison here. So this is the final result, and here is the comparison between the original and the final result, where we have turned NTR into 80-year-old person. So this is age morphing. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please do like, subscribe, share, and if you have anything to say, do comment. See you again.